see if we can get it going. There's a bunch of old junk here, old fuel tanks. Had to cut some things out of the brush. And back there is where the pressure washer is. Buried in the grass. Let's get her out, take it home, see if we can do something with it. Whew, that thing's... Well, we got her back to the shop here, and it's been sitting upside down out in a grassy field, as you saw, for I don't know how many years. I got it from a lady, and her husband had died a couple years ago, and she said he got it years ago and was hoping to get it going. So everything's all froze on the carburetor, all the throttle and the linkage. Choke still moves, and the engine's not froze. It does pull. It has a little compression in there. And I think I did notice there's some oil in here. It's damp. Maybe there's some oil, a little bit of oil in there. Might be all sitting up in the cylinder, since this thing was sitting upside down. And I don't know about the pump oil. But I'm going to try to pump up the tires, just start from the beginning, go through it, see if I can get the engine going. And then, if I can, check the pump. If the pump's shot, then it's not worth putting any money into this at all. So let's do it. At least I can wheel it around a little bit if I can get this. It's all messed up because it was tipped over, laying like that. So when I put the tire on, it's hard to get the seal. It's a little hard to see down in the tank, but the filter looks okay. But there is some sand down in there, so I'm going to try to vacuum that out. It's not too bad, so I don't need to remove the tank. But other than just a little sand, the tank's clean, no rust, so we'll keep moving forward. Check the air filter. Might be a field mouse made a nest in here. Doesn't look too bad. This filter's kind of crusty, but it's clean. This throttle linkage is completely rusted, frozen. So we'll spray that down and see if we can free all that up. I'm gonna have to take the carburetor off anyways. Little bonus tip for you. My PB blaster still has fluid in it, but it doesn't want to spray any. So I don't want to waste that. Pull the cap off. Got a tire valve. Take my air hose. Press the tire valve over that. I've got my pressure set to about 90 psi. It's solid now. There we go, we're back in action. She's locked up good. Can't blame it for sitting out in the woods so long. Alright, since this has been out in the field for 10 years, even though the cylinder moves when I pull the cord, I want to fog the cylinder just to lubricate that in there before we try to start it. And then we'll pull the carburetor off. Obviously that needs cleaning. Fuel line's all dried out. Doesn't even reach the carburetor. Obviously you'll have to change that. Throttle doesn't budge. Mercy. What a mess. Might have to pull these studs off to get this off. Yeah, she's turning a little bit. There we go. Wow. Gonna need a good cleaning, at least. Maybe a whole lot more. Guess it'd be interesting to see if we have spark while we have this apart. Oh yeah! Alright, to get started, let's take this over to the workbench, clean it up and free it up. Got some old gas here for a task just like this. Clean this up a little bit. Mercy. That is stuck. Oh, there. Oh, there. There we go. Hee hee! Just like new. Ah! Now, I didn't want to make this video too long, so I'm flying through the disassembly, cleaning, rebuilding, and reassembly of this carburetor. But if you want to see a full guided tutorial on rebuilding a Honda-style carburetor just like this, click on the video at the top right corner of your screen, or I also have that video link at the end of this video. This is the main jet, and it's brass. You got to be very, very careful taking this out. And sometimes you can't get them out. It just busts off. This one's turning. We're almost out. There we go. Doggy. Thank you, Lord. And you want to make sure that's clear. All right, let's go reinstall it. I'll check the valves just to make sure they're not sticking or anything. That one might be a little loose. Not bad enough that it wouldn't run, though. I can adjust these later. Feels like it's got good compression. Little fuel line off. Hard as a rock. Okay, before we fire this thing up, obviously I need to put some gas in it, but most importantly, I've got to put oil in it because it has little or none in it because it was sitting upside down. And I also need to check the pump and see what that needs. Oh, that's awful watery, isn't it? Not good. And good thing we drained it. And we'll drain the pump. Oh my. A lot of water in there too, not good. And it could be sitting out in winter that it split something, the seals could be dried out. We'll find out. I'm going to run a little fresh through there just to clean out what I can. And if this works in the end, I'll run it just a little bit and change these again. When you fill these, you just want to go halfway up the glass. I think this one takes a little less than a quart. Non-detergent, 30 weight. That's what this one calls for. So you want to make sure to check yours and that you're putting the right oil and the right amount in. And now we'll fill the crankcase. Good enough to test it out. Now this thing was sitting out in the field with a crummy old hose, long 100-foot hose hooked up to it. And I need to get that off so we can test this. You never run a pressure washer without water running through it. You'll burn up the pump. That's not coming out of there. Well, just to get this water inlet fixed, I had to take this off, disconnect the hose. Look at that, all clogged up, holy smokes. I'll try to clean this up so I can get a supply hose hooked to this so we can test it out. Well, as you saw, this shutoff was screwed into there, and then a hose came off of here. Well, this shutoff is totally gone. I tried to take the hose out, and it's all froze up in there. And this was froze up in here, and when I tried to take it off, it just busted off in there. And it was solid full of this white powder. I don't know what that is, hard water deposits or something. Anyways, I need to get this out somehow, or else buy a whole new brass piece, which I'd rather not do because I don't even know if this thing will work. So what I'm going to do is saw this out the best I can and try to chip away at it and get it out and reuse this. about that? Nice. And of course, I don't want to mess up the brass threads. They're real soft. She's coming out. Thankful. And hopefully there's some threads left on this after I'm done with this. I assume there's a little filter in there, so I need to get that out. Hey, hey, hey! There we are. I'm going to clean these threads up a little bit. And I've got an extra one of these from my hose. Stick that in there. So you don't want debris getting in the pump, so that was good. Let me clean this up. We'll go back and try again. Now let's go put it on the pressure washer. I don't even know if the engine works, but we'll test it out. Okay, after 10 years in the field, we checked the gas tank. It's clean. We vacuumed it out. There's a little sand in there. Put a new fuel line on. Took the carburetor off. Cleaned that all out. Got all the sticky gumminess out of it. Took the spark plug out. Checked for spark. We had spark. Cleaned the plug up. Fogged the cylinder, both through the spark plug and through the intake. Checked the valves. They're operating okay. Maybe we'll adjust them a little bit. On the pump, we changed the fluid, fixed the water supply problem, and we changed the oil in the crankcase, and freed up a bunch of other stuff that wasn't working. So I think we're ready to fuel it up, hook our hose up, and give it a try. And we'll throw just a little in the carburetor, since it's been dry. Okay, we got the hose on. That's squirting out. Got a little leak at the hose connection. That's all right. And I can go ahead and try to start it up. See what it does. Fuel on. Choke on. Here we go. I can see why they put an electric starter on this. I might have to hook up the battery. What was that? Oh my. to the world. Sounds good.